Has it ever happened to you? A sudden green flash in your peripheral vision, a pressure in your chest that medicine can't explain, or that constant internal buzzing. Stop. Breathe. It's not tiredness, it's not stress, and you're certainly not imagining things. You didn't arrive at this video by chance or by the luck of the algorithm. There is synchronicity at work here. What you feel is an ancient activation system resonating. You're being contacted by frequencies that tradition calls Sophia and Thoth. What's happening is a true cosmic scanner. In this video, I'll reveal exactly why your energy was identified, what the emerald light is doing to your DNA, and most importantly, the deadline to accept this calling. Ignoring this frequency now could mean missing the greatest connection of your life. Now, I want you to consciously seal this commitment. Don't write pre-written phrases. Go to the comments and share, in your own words, what was the strongest sign that brought you here? And what does your intuition tell you it means? Let's create a chain of inspiration. There is a calling that ignores your ears and directly reaches your deepest perception, vibrating at a hidden frequency of everyday reality. It is a subtle pulse, a glitch in the matrix, which your logical mind tries to dismiss as an error, but which your intuition recognizes as truth. The system hasn't failed. It's you who has finally begun to see the cracks in the illusion. What seems to be a discrete event is, in fact, a touch on the shoulder coming from a dimension that your physical eyes cannot yet register. The contact manifests in the body in an unmistakable way. A flash of peripheral green light, a pressure in the chest that is not anxiety, or a persistent high-pitched buzzing. Don't confuse this with eye strain or fatigue. These are symptoms of a forced energy calibration. While the rational mind seeks medical diagnoses to justify the unknown, your organism is being tuned to a new station. It is a physical presence that expands from the inside out, preparing your biological hardware for an upgrade. None of this is random. It is a deliberate test by an ancient intelligence scanning humanity for resonance. This force does not interfere, but casts luminous lures into the ocean of consciousness to see who is awake enough to react. It is a filter of perception designed to identify who, amidst the noise of the modern world, still possesses the sensitivity to notice what moves beyond the veil. You did not stumble upon this signal by chance. You were the target of a readiness check. Your chronic feeling of not belonging is not a manufacturing defect, but proof that your internal compass is working. If society's rules seem empty, it's because your cellular memory recalls a different origin and rejects the standard programming. The signal you received is external validation that you are not crazy or lost. You have been identified by the frequency you emit and recognized as one of the few capable of sustaining this connection. This sign is not a simple hello. It's a master key turning in a lock that has been locked your entire life. Most people live and die without knowing this door exists, but you have just felt the hinges give way. What happens when the outside world disappears is not imagination, it's access to unexplored territory. The door has opened, contact has been established, and the true nature of your existence begins now. When you close your eyes, what do you really see? For most people, the answer is simple. Darkness, perhaps punctuated by residual patches of light from the retina. It's an empty space, a simple shutdown of the sense of sight. But for those who have received the signal, something extraordinary begins to happen in that inner space. The familiar darkness, the blackness that has always been there, begins to behave differently. It is no longer static. It moves, dissolves, not into random points of light, but into something much more structured and intentional. What emerges is a vortex, a tunnel of energy that seems to slowly rotate, pulling your consciousness towards the center. And this vortex has a specific, unmistakable color, a deep and vibrant emerald green. It's not a dull or pale green, but a living color that seems to breathe and pulsate with life of its own. It's a fusion of all the shades of green you can imagine, from the color of an ancient forest bathed in sunlight to the glow of a distant galaxy. This portal of emerald light opens exactly where before there was only the emptiness of your mind. It is crucial to understand that this is not a light that comes from outside. It is not a reflection or a visual memory. It emerges from within, from the deepest point of your being. Esoteric traditions from around the world speak of this specific frequency. The green ray is described as the vibration of pure truth, stripped of any adornment or distortion. It is the frequency of perfect balance in the visible light spectrum, the central point that harmonizes all other colors. To feel this light, to be bathed in it, is like diving into an ocean of pure essence, an experience that realigns every cell in your body. This experience is much more than just visual. It's a profound recollection, a cellular memory that was dormant. It's like hearing a song you didn't know you knew, but whose melody resonates in every part of your being. The emerald light activates a memory of a forgotten origin, a state of consciousness that now returns to you. It's the remembrance of a time when you didn't feel separate, when your identity wasn't limited to this body and this life. It's the frequency of your true home vibrating within you. But why this specific color? And why now? The answer is not simple, as it is connected to an ancient secret, a knowledge that was deliberately divided in two, so that humanity would lose access to its full power. The emerald color is not only the color of healing and balance, it is the symbol of the union of two opposing forces, two currents of wisdom that, for ages, have been taught as enemies. The appearance of this green portal within you is the sign that these two forces are ready to reunite. This light is the precursor to an alchemical fusion that needs to happen within you. It is preparing the ground, clearing distortions, and realigning your energy so that you can withstand what is to come. The experience of this vortex is not an end in itself, but a preparation. It is the universe showing you unequivocally that you are a candidate to participate in this great reunification. You are being attuned to become the meeting point of two schools of thought that have shaped the spiritual history of our planet. Therefore, the next time you close your eyes and see that emerald light pulsing in the darkness, don't dismiss it as a dream or imagination. Recognize it for what it is, a portal. A portal that doesn't lead outward but inward. A portal that is the key to understanding the silent war that has been waged within the human soul for millennia. A war that has kept you incomplete and that now, finally, can come to an end. The answer to the mystery of this light lies in the history of this conflict. The Thoth Coded talks specifically about how to achieve this union within yourself and gives you a step-by-step guide to mastering your mind and vitality. Access is right below in the first pinned comment. To understand why the emerald light is appearing to you, we need to go back in time, to the origin of a silent conflict that divided the human soul. For millennia, the search for truth has been caught in a war between two great currents of thought. On one side was the path of the mind, of logic, of structure and order. This is the path represented by figures like Thoth, the divine scribe of ancient Egypt, the master of sacred geometry, mathematics, and universal law. It is the path of Logos, of the word of truth, that can be measured, proven, and crystallized into knowledge. On the other side, a river flowed in the opposite direction, the path of the heart. This is the path of intuition, of feeling, of compassion, and of direct experience. It is personified by Sophia, the figure of divine wisdom in Gnosticism, the soul of the world who experienced the fall, suffering, and redemption through love. It is the path of gnosis, of knowledge that does not come from books or logic, but from a deep feeling, from a direct connection with the source. One school valued clear and precise thought, the other, pure and unconditional feeling. This division was not a philosophical accident. It became the basis of almost all religions and mystery schools on the planet. Some traditions focused exclusively on the mind, on study, on discipline, and on structure, seeing the heart and emotions as a dangerous distraction, a weakness to be overcome. Other traditions focused only on the heart, on devotion, on blind faith, and on emotional surrender, seeing the logical mind as cold, soulless, and an obstacle to true spiritual connection. Humanity was forced to choose a side. This forced choice created a deep schism within every human being. If you chose the path of the mind, you risked becoming arrogant, cold, and disconnected from your own humanity and that of others. If you chose the path of the heart, you risked becoming naive, deluded, and unable to discern truth from fantasy. In both cases, something was irremediably missing. This internal war, this constant battle between what you think and what you feel, is the real reason why humanity feels so lost and incomplete. Have you ever felt this way? The feeling that your head says one thing, but your heart says another? The paralysis that comes from trying to make an important decision, trapped between cold logic and overwhelming intuition? This confusion isn't your fault. It's the result of millennia of programming that has taught us that the mind and the heart are enemies. We've been taught to distrust one or the other, but never to integrate them. We live in a state of internal civil war, and this drains our energy and prevents us from accessing our true potential. But what if I told you that this division was a lie? What if there was a way to unite these two paths, to transform this war into a dance? What if the key to this sacred union was hidden in plain sight, in a legendary artifact that most people, including the greatest scholars, have completely misinterpreted? The appearance of the emerald light in your consciousness is the sign that you are ready to discover this key and heal this division within yourself. The truth is that the mind and the heart were never meant to be enemies. They were meant to be partners, to work together in perfect harmony. The mind should give structure to the wisdom of the heart, and the heart should give life and purpose to the clarity of the mind. The union of these two poles is the secret to true mastery. And the clue to achieving this union is encoded not in words, but in the very substance of one of history's most mysterious texts. Many have heard of the legendary Emerald Tablets, an ancient and mysterious text attributed to Thoth himself. For centuries, alchemists, occultists, and scholars have pored over its enigmatic words, attempting to decipher the secrets of the universe, transmutation, and immortality. They focused on the phrases, the symbols, the allegories, believing that the power lay solely within what was written. But in doing so, they missed the most obvious and, at the same time, the most profound clue of all. The key lies not only in the text. The fundamental question that most have ignored is, why is the tablet made of emerald? Why not gold, silver, or crystal? Why would Thoth, the master of mind and structure, choose to record his knowledge in a substance of green color? The answer to this question reveals the true secret of alchemy, a secret that goes far beyond transforming lead into gold. The color green, as we have seen, is the frequency of balance. It is located exactly in the center of the light spectrum, being the bridge between warm and cool colors. It is the color of healing, harmony, and life. The emerald tablet is not merely a physical object, but a perfect metaphor for the alchemical fusion that needs to happen within us. It represents the union of the two great currents that were separated. Consider this: the compassionate and intuitive wisdom of the heart, the energy of Sophia, is fluid, loving, but formless. The brilliant mind of truth, the energy of Thoth, is structured, logical, but lifeless. The emerald tablet is the symbol of the heart of Sophia being crystallized and eternalized by the mind of Thoth. It is love gaining structure and truth gaining life. The artifact is physical proof, a cosmic declaration that love and logic are not enemies. They are partners destined to meet and create something greater than the sum of their parts. The tablet is not an object to be possessed, but a state of consciousness to be achieved. It is the state in which your mind and your heart stop fighting and begin to dance in perfect synchronicity. It is when your intuition is validated by your logic, and your logic is guided by your compassion. It is the sacred marriage happening within your own consciousness. Most translators and disciples got lost in the words because the mind by itself cannot comprehend this mystery. They tried to decipher the tablet using only logic, ignoring the wisdom of the heart that the tablet's own color represented. They missed the main message because they were operating from the same duality that the tablet intended to heal. They saw the map, but they didn't understand that the map pointed inward. The emerald light you see is the vibration of this tablet resonating within you. It is a sign that you are ready to understand the secret not with your mind, but with your whole being. You are being called to become a living emerald tablet, to be the meeting point where the wisdom of the heart and the clarity of the mind finally unite. This fusion is not an abstract or philosophical concept. It is a real biological and energetic process, and this fusion doesn't happen in some mystical place or another dimension. It has an epicenter, an anchoring point within your own physical body. The secret of the emerald tablet points to a very specific place within you, a center of power that, when activated, becomes the bridge between heaven and earth, between your humanity and your divinity. And the activation of this center is the next inevitable step on your journey. This cosmic fusion between mind and heart is not an event that happens in the ether or in some distant reality. It has a physical epicenter, a precise anchoring point within your own biology. This place is the energy center known in Eastern traditions as Anahata, the heart chakra. This point located in the center of your chest is not just a blood pump. Energetically, it is the sacred bridge that connects the three lower chakras linked to your earthly and instinctive existence with the three upper chakras connected to your divine consciousness and your intellect. The color associated with this energy center is no coincidence. It is precisely emerald green. The heart chakra is the emerald tablet within you. It is the balancing point of your energy system, the place where heaven and earth meet. The strange pressure you may have felt in your chest, that expanding sense of presence, is the unmistakable sign that this bridge is being activated. Your heart chakra is beginning to spin at a new frequency, preparing to receive and sustain a much higher voltage of energy. Think of your body not as a limitation or a prison for your spirit, but as a highly precise biological instrument. It was designed to be a receiver and transmitter of these cosmic energies. However, for most people, this instrument operates at a minimum capacity, attuned only to the dense frequencies of the material world. The activation of your heart is the beginning of a complete recalibration of your system. You are being upgraded to become a conductor of higher frequencies. This recalibration is essential. You cannot sustain the union of mind and heart, the energy of the Emerald Alliance, with an energy system that is not prepared. It would be like trying to run state-of-the-art software on a 20-year-old computer. The system would collapse. Activating your heart expands your capacity to love unconditionally, to feel compassion, and crucially, to perceive truth without the distortions of ego and fear. It is clearing your lenses of perception. The awakening of Anahata is the most crucial step for the sacred marriage between Thoth and Sophia to take place within you. Without an open and strong heart, the clarity of the mind becomes cold and critical. Without the structure of the mind, the love of the heart becomes chaotic and blind. The heart chakra is the alchemical crucible where these two forces meet, merge, and give birth to a new state of consciousness, a state of awakened mastery. Your body is literally building the bridge so that you can cross over to this new reality. This activation process is the physical and biological response to the signals you have been receiving. The light you see in your mind is now anchoring in your body. Theory is becoming practice. The map is becoming the territory. The activation of your heart is confirmation that you are not just observing the process, you are the process. You are the laboratory and the alchemist at the same time. And this bridge, once activated, allows a new energy to flow through you. But be warned, when that energy finally arrives, when the emerald light begins to flow freely through your activated heart, it is neither gentle nor comforting in the conventional sense. Its function is not to give you a warm hug. Its function is much more direct and, for many, brutally uncomfortable. It comes to reveal the truth. All of it, without filters, without masks, and without excuses. And this revelation is the next stage of your transformation. Once the bridge of your heart is active, the emerald light begins to flow through you in a much more intense way. And this is where the journey can become uncomfortable, because this light operates in a fundamentally different way from other spiritual energies. While golden light can bring a sense of comfort, and violet light can transmute dense energies, emerald light has a single, relentless function. It reveals. It is the frequency of naked truth, a laser beam that penetrates all the layers of illusion, self-deception, and conditioning that you have built up throughout your life. When this light bathes you from within, the masks you wear begin to melt. And we're not just talking about the masks you show to the world, like the competent professional, the good son, or the loyal friend. We're mainly talking about the masks you wear for yourself. The mask that everything is fine when it's not. The mask that you don't care when, in fact, you're suffering. The mask that you're not good enough, or conversely, the mask that you're better than others. All of this begins to dissolve under your light. The emerald light exposes your most inconvenient truths with a clarity that allows no negotiation. It illuminates the wounds you've hidden in the basement of your soul, the traumas you pretended to have overcome, the resentments you secretly harbor. At the same time, it also reveals your unrealized potential, the dreams you abandoned out of fear, the talents you buried out of insecurity. It shows you, bluntly, the complete architecture of your consciousness, exposing both the cracks in the foundations and the beauty of the original design. It's crucial to understand that there is no judgment in this revelation. The light doesn't say this is good or this is bad. It simply presents fantasies as they are. It's like turning on a bright light in a room that has been dark for years. You'll see the dust, the cobwebs, the mess, but you'll also see the forgotten treasures in the corners. It's a radical invitation to face your inner reality unfiltered, to see yourself with brutal honesty. For many, this process is frightening because we cling to our illusions and our stories. This phase is a test of courage. Will you have the courage to look at what the light reveals? Or will you try to extinguish the light and return to the comfortable darkness of ignorance? The emerald light forces you to take responsibility for your own life. It clearly shows you how your beliefs created your reality, how your fears sabotaged your opportunities, and how your excuses kept you trapped. There is nowhere left to run, no one left to blame. The light holds the mirror up to you and compels you to look. Many people give up at this point. The intensity of the truth is too much for them. They prefer the familiar pain of their prisons to the uncertainty of freedom. But if you persevere, if you take a deep breath and keep looking in the mirror, something incredible happens. Acceptance begins to emerge. You stop fighting against yourself. You begin to see that the wounds and flaws are not who you are, but merely experiences you have had. The light does not come to condemn you, but to set you free. And this relentless revelation, this dissolution of masks, is not a punishment. It is not a random purification process. It is the final and necessary step in a very ancient process of identification. The light is removing everything that is not you, everything that is false, so that your true essence can finally shine. It is preparing you for the greatest revelation of all, the answer to the question, who am I? And this answer will forever change the way you see yourself and your place in the universe. In ancient mystery schools, such as those of the Gnostics, it was believed that humanity was not homogeneous. They taught that most people possessed a body and a soul, psyche, but that only a small group possessed something more, a spirit, pneuma. This was not a more evolved soul, but a direct spark from the divine source, a particle of God's own consciousness dwelling within a human body. These people were called pneumatics, the spiritual ones, and were considered capable of attaining gnosis, the direct knowledge of truth, without intermediaries. The appearance of the emerald light in your consciousness, culminating in this process of revelation, functions as a cosmic scanner. It is a deep and precise energetic scan that searches your DNA, your energetic structure, for the vibrational signature of this pneumatic spark. It is not a symbolic process. It is a real identification mechanism. The light does not appear to everyone. It is directed, seeking a specific resonance, a frequency that corresponds to your own. It is a call that can only be heard by those who already have the receiver installed. If you see this light, if you feel these signs, if you have gone through this unmasking process, it is not by chance. It is not because you are special in the egoic sense of the word, but because you are compatible. It means the scanner found what it was looking for. Your energetic signature has been validated. Among billions of souls, yours resonated with the call. You have been identified as a bearer of the divine flame, someone whose deepest essence belongs to a spiritual lineage that transcends the common cycle of birth and death that imprisons most of humanity. This identification is the answer to the feeling of not belonging that has accompanied you throughout your life. That feeling of being a stranger in a strange land, of looking at the world and sensing that something fundamental is wrong, was not imagination or social maladjustment. It was a memory of your true origin, an echo of your spiritual nature that refused to be completely silenced by the programming of the material world. You didn't feel at home because, in fact, this is not your only home. Being identified as a pneumatic, a bearer of the spark, doesn't place you above anyone. It's not a title of spiritual nobility. On the contrary, it's a call to an immensely greater level of responsibility. It means your journey is no longer just about your own survival or happiness. You now have the potential to become a beacon, an anchor point for higher consciousness on this planet. You are identified because you are fit for service. The validation of your signature is confirmation that you have the innate ability to fully awaken in this life. You no longer need to seek truth outside of yourself. You don't need anyone's permission to connect with the divine. The source of truth resides within you, in the form of this spark that has just been recognized and activated. The search is over. Now, The work of manifesting this inner divinity in the world begins. Therefore, the journey through the signs, the portal, the inner war, the unveiling of the masks, all of this was an activation protocol. It was a process to awaken you to your true identity. You're not just a human being having a life experience. You are a divine spark having a human experience with a very specific purpose. And now that you have been identified, the next step is to understand what it means to belong to this lineage and what your responsibility is in this grand cosmic plan. Now that you have been identified, your reality changes irreversibly. Being recognized as a pneumatic, a bearer of the divine spark, is not like winning an award or a title of superiority. Forget any idea of spiritual ego. In fact, it's the opposite. It's the beginning of an immense and profound responsibility. It's as if you, who were previously playing a board game, were suddenly informed that you are one of the main pieces, with a crucial role in the final outcome. The weight of this awareness is real. Ignorance was a blessing you didn't know you had, and now it's gone forever. You can no longer go back to sleep. Carrying this spark means you have the innate potential for gnosis, the direct and intuitive knowledge of reality. You no longer need intermediaries. Gurus, sacred books, religious dogmas, all of that becomes secondary. They may have served as maps until now, but you have just discovered that you have a perfectly calibrated inner compass. You belong to the lineage of those who are not content with ready-made answers, who do not accept second-hand truth. Your soul yearns to drink directly from the source, and the source, as you now know, springs from within you. This identification places you on a completely different path from most. It's a path of spiritual sovereignty. This means you must take 100% responsibility for your life and your consciousness. The victim narrative, blaming others or circumstances, becomes impossible to sustain. How can you be a victim if you carry the essence of the Creator within you? Your journey, from now on, ceases to be about seeking salvation or waiting for rescue. It becomes about manifesting the divinity that already resides within you, here and now. The change is radical. You stop asking and start creating. You stop searching and start being. You stop waiting and start acting. Every thought, every word, and every action takes on a new weight because you understand that you are constantly shaping your reality from your inner vibration. Life ceases to be something that happens to you and becomes something that flows through you. You become an active participant in the dance of creation, no longer a mere frightened spectator in the audience, waiting for the show to end. But this activation, this recognition of your true nature, is not happening in a vacuum. It is not an isolated, personal event. If it were, it would have happened at any other point in your life. The fact that it is happening now is proof that you are synchronized with something much larger. Your personal activation is part of a collective activation, a cosmic event that was predicted millennia ago and is tied to a specific time marker, a deadline that is approaching much faster than you imagine. This synchronicity is not a coincidence. It is a design. You are being activated at a precise moment because your role is needed now. Think of yourself as a light that has been programmed to turn on at an exact moment to illuminate a specific path. You were not chosen at random. You were prepared for this exact moment in the planet's history. Your individual readiness coincides with a collective need. You are a fundamental piece in a cosmic clock that is about to strike a decisive blow. Therefore, the weight you feel is not just that of personal responsibility. It is the weight of a cosmic purpose. You have been identified and activated to serve as an anchor point for a new frequency on Earth. And this activation is linked to a countdown, a window of opportunity that is opening and has a very well-defined peak. Understanding this timeline is crucial to understanding the urgency and importance of what is happening to you now. Its activation is not a random event. It is perfectly synchronized with a cosmic moment of immense importance. Thoth, the master of cycles and time, predicted in his writings that humanity would pass through different eras, and that there would be specific windows of opportunity for a great leap in consciousness. We are living through the peak of one of these windows. It is a time when access to universal knowledge, to the so-called halls of Amenti or Akashic records, would be drastically facilitated for a greater number of people. In the past, to access this wisdom, an initiate had to undergo extremely complex and dangerous rituals, or in many cases, only gained full access after physical death. It was an exclusive club, guarded with 7 keys. But something fundamental has changed. The living consciousness of the planet, the energy of Sophia, in an act of immense compassion for sleeping humanity, is collaborating to hack the system. It is creating the conditions for the frequency of truth, the energy of Thoth, to descend and anchor itself directly in those who are prepared to receive it. The year 2026 is pointed to in various esoteric traditions and prophecies as a temporal marker, an energetic peak within this window of opportunity. It is not the end of the world, but the end of a world, the end of a cycle of consciousness based on separation and fear. It is the apex of a high-frequency energy wave sweeping through our solar system. Seeing the emerald light now, being activated before this peak, means you are at the forefront of this wave. You are part of the preparation team. Think of it as a large operation. There are those who will only awaken when the wave reaches its maximum force, and there are those who are awakened earlier to help stabilize the energy and prepare the ground. You are part of this second group. You are being prepared and trained in service, while the transformation itself takes place. Your early activation is not a privilege, but a call to action. You are one of the first to be called to the front line of this shift in consciousness. This position at the forefront explains the intensity of your process. You are receiving the energy in a more concentrated form before it is diluted to reach the masses. This is why the signs are so clear and the inner transformation so profound. You are serving as a lightning rod and an energy transformer, helping to anchor this new frequency into the planet's grid so that others can awaken more easily when the time comes. Every step you take in your personal healing and awakening contributes to the upliftment of the entire collective. Now that you understand the cosmic context, let's talk about your body. It is literally being pressurized to become an efficient conductor of this new high-frequency energy. The physical symptoms you may be experiencing are not your imagination or hypochondria. The pressure in the thymus, right in the center of your chest, the high-pitched ringing in your ears that comes and goes, the sudden waves of heat or chills, palpitations, dizziness, strange headaches. None of these are signs of illness in the traditional sense. They are symptoms of a system upgrade. Your biology, your DNA, is adapting to withstand a much higher energy voltage. Think of your body as electrical wiring. The wiring in an old house can't handle the load of modern, powerful appliances. It overheats and can cause a short circuit. Similarly, your body, with its old wiring based on frequencies of fear and survival, cannot withstand the frequency of love and unity consciousness. Therefore, your wiring is being replaced. Your nervous system is being recalibrated. This process can be extremely uncomfortable, and there's a reason for that. For the new frequency to take hold, old, dense energies need to be released. Fears, traumas, sadness, and anger that have been stored at the cellular level, often for a lifetime or even inherited from ancestors, are being forced to the surface to be cleansed. It's like cleaning a clogged pipe. Before clean water can flow, all the accumulated dirt needs to be expelled. and this expulsion can be messy and painful. Each physical symptom is a milestone in your transformation process. The ringing in your ears is your auditory system tuning into new dimensions. The pressure in your chest is your heart chakra expanding to become a central sun. The hot flashes are the burning away of old karmic patterns. Every pain and discomfort is proof that the work is being done, that your biological structure is being rewired to operate at a much higher octave of consciousness. You are becoming a superconductor. It is vital that during this period you take care of your body like never before. Drink plenty of pure water, eat clean and living foods, rest when you feel the need. Spend time in nature. Your body is undergoing a metamorphosis as intense as that of a caterpillar becoming a butterfly inside its cocoon. Be kind to yourself. Don't force yourself to maintain the same pace as before. You are no longer the same person, and your body is telling you this at every moment. Ignoring these signals is fighting against your own evolution. This biological upgrade is not just for your benefit. By transforming your body into a pillar of light, you become a stabilizer for the planet's energy grid. Your mere presence, vibrating at this new frequency, helps raise the vibration of everyone around you, even if they are not aware of it. You become a living pillar of the bridge between heaven and earth, a channel through which the new reality can manifest on the physical plane. And this profound transformation, this update that is happening in your body and in your consciousness, is not just a personal experience. It definitively places you before the greatest and most important choice of your life. A choice that will determine the course of your reality from now on. You are at a crossroads, and the path you choose will not only affect you, but will contribute to the destiny of the entire collective. The universe does not operate by chance. Everything is orchestrated by precise laws of frequency and resonance. Your activation, your exposure to this message, all of this is part of a much larger event. A great bifurcation of realities that is happening right now on the planet. Humanity, as a whole, is reaching a crossroads and is splitting into two primary timelines. Two fundamentally different experiences of reality. It is not a judgment, it is simply a matter of vibrational physics. The first is the gray line. This is the path of dormant consciousness. It is the reality based on the repetition of the same karmic cycles, what Buddhists call samsara. It is the experience of the world based on the perception of scarcity, fear, competition, and separation. People in this timeline will continue to live trapped in the rat wheel, seeking happiness outside themselves, blaming others for their problems, and living in a constant state of reaction to external circumstances. For them, the world will continue to seem like a hostile and chaotic place. The second is the emerald line. This is the path of the awakened, those who are learning to access their divine spark, their monad, to co-create reality in real time. It is a world experience based on the consciousness of unity, abundance, collaboration, and love. People on this timeline are stepping out of the karmic wheel and beginning to live from a state of sovereignty, understanding that the external world is a reflection of their inner world. For them, life becomes an adventure of synchronicities, magic, and purpose. It is crucial that you understand this. You were not dragged or forced into the emerald line. You were invited. The emerald light. You saw, the signs you received, all of that was a formal invitation from the universe. The light merely illuminated the door, showing that there is another possibility, another path available to you. It showed you that you no longer need to live in the gray reality of survival and fear. But the choice to cross that door is still yours. Free will is the supreme law of the universe. No one can make that choice for you. You may receive the invitation, see the open door, and still choose to remain in the uncomfortable familiarity of the gray line. The fear of the unknown is a powerful force, and many prefer the prison they know to the freedom they don't. The choice between the two timelines is made in every moment. With every thought you choose to nurture, with every emotion you choose to feel, with every action you choose to take, you choose the emerald line when you choose love instead of fear. When you choose responsibility instead of guilt. When you choose trust instead of doubt. When you choose presence instead of distraction. Every small conscious choice is a step that grounds you more and more in the new reality. You don't need a grand ceremony to make this choice. You make it now, at this very moment, by deciding which frequency you will operate on. But here is the most important and urgent point of all. This choice, this invitation, has an expiration date. The door will not remain open forever. The energy facilitating this transition is a wave, and waves have a peak and then dissipate. The opportunity to make this transition with relative ease is now, and understanding the transient nature of this opportunity is key to understanding the urgency of the moment. The invitation to embark on the Emerald Line is not a permanent offer. It is crucial that you understand the nature of the energy driving this change. The Emerald Light is not a static and patient force that will wait forever for your decision. It is a dynamic pulse, a wave of cosmic opportunity sweeping through our sector of the universe in cycles. It presents itself, offers its awakening frequency, and awaits a response, a resonance. It is like a rising tide, offering the chance to lift all boats. If the opportunity is not seized, if your vibration is not consciously raised to align with that of the wave, it simply passes. The tide begins to recede, and the wave continues its path to the next point of resonance in the cosmos. There is no punishment or penalty if you miss the wave. You will not be condemned. You will simply continue in the previous cycle, on the gray line, until a new window of opportunity opens. But that new window may take centuries, or even millennia, to arrive. The urgency of the moment doesn't come from an external threat, an angry God, or an arbitrary deadline. The urgency comes from the very transient nature of energy. It's physical, not moral. It's a call to presence, to the now. It's about recognizing the exact moment when the cosmic tide is high, and having the courage to cast off the moorings of your boat and navigate its waters, instead of remaining safe on the shore, watching the opportunity recede on the horizon. Being aware of this changes everything. Many people on the spiritual path fall into the trap of complacency. They think, I'll deal with my shadows later. I'll start meditating tomorrow. I have all the time in the world. But at this specific moment in cosmic history, that's not true. The supportive energy for transformation is at its peak. Doing the work of healing and awakening now is exponentially easier than it will be in a few years when this wave of support has passed. Now you have the wind at your back. Think of a surfer. He can't create the wave. He needs to study the ocean, feel the movement of the water, and be ready on his board at the exact moment the perfect wave forms. If he hesitates, if he doubts, if he's distracted, the wave passes and the opportunity is lost. You are that surfer, and the wave of ascension is forming now. The signs you received were the warning that the wave is coming. Your preparation is to be on your board, ready to paddle. This understanding should ignite a fire within you. A fire of determination to seize this unique opportunity. Not a fire of fear, but of enthusiasm and purpose. You were one of the few to receive advance notice. You have the chance to consciously position yourself to ride this magnificent wave of transformation. Ignoring it would be like winning the lottery and forgetting to collect the prize. The opportunity is before you, but it demands a response. And this answer isn't just a mental decision. It requires a fundamental shift in your attitude towards life. It demands that you abandon old habits of thought and behavior that keep you anchored in the old frequency. To ride the wave, you need to align yourself with its energy. And for that, there's a specific protocol, a new way of being and interacting with reality that you need to adopt now. If you received the signal and consciously chose the emerald line, it's time to abandon once and for all the posture of an ordinary human being living at the mercy of circumstances. The new frequency demands a new attitude, a new operational protocol. You cannot enter a new reality carrying the baggage of the old. The energy of Thoth, the mind of God, demands the posture of a master. The energy of Sophia, the heart of the world, demands the compassion of a mother. This translates into a radical change in your interaction with reality. First, stop asking. The energy of asking comes from a place of lack. When you ask for health, money, or love, you are stating to the universe that you don't have these things. You are vibrating at the frequency of scarcity. Instead, you should command from your sovereignty. Commanding is not being arrogant. It is aligning your will with the divine will and declaring what is already yours by birthright. I command perfect health in my body. I activate abundance in my life. It is a declaration of power, not a plea of weakness. Second, stop searching. Searching implies separation. When you seek truth, peace, or happiness, you are assuming they are somewhere out there, separate from you. But the truth is that everything you seek already resides within you. Instead of searching, you must recognize. I recognize the peace that already exists within me. I recognize the wisdom that has always been available. It's a shift in focus, from looking outward to looking inward. You stop hunting and simply perceive the treasure that has always been in your heart. Third, stop fearing. Fear is the frequency of illusion. It's the static that prevents you from hearing your own intuition. Fear is the vibration of the gray line. To ground yourself in the emerald line, you need to learn to observe everything, including your own fears, with the neutrality of a conscious witness. When fear arises, don't fight it or identify with it. Just observe it. Ah, here's fear again. By observing it without judgment, you remove its power over you. You realize that you are not the fear. You are the consciousness observing the fear. This is the daily activation protocol for the initiate. To live from the certainty of your own divinity. It's a constant practice. You will fail, you will forget, you will fall back into old patterns. That's normal. The important thing is to get up. Remember who you are and readjust your posture. It's training. You are training to be a god. To remember that you are a co-creator of your reality. Every moment is a new opportunity to practice this protocol. This change in attitude is the most powerful thing you can do. It instantly changes your vibrational frequency, and when your frequency changes, the universe has no choice but to present you with a reality that matches that new vibration. Synchronicities increase, doors open, the right people appear. It's not magic, it's physics. You're simply tuning your radio to a new station, and the music playing is much more harmonious. But to seal this new stance, to solidify your commitment to this new reality, there is a concrete step. An act of power that you can perform to formally declare your choice to the universe. It is an act that transforms your internal decision into an energetic decree, anchoring your position on the emerald line once and for all. And this act is a contract that changes everything. Now that you understand the protocol, there is one final step to seal your commitment. It is an act of power that anchors your intention in the planet's energy field. The next time the emerald light flashes in your mind, you feel the pressure in your heart, or you catch a glimpse of it in your vision, don't treat it as a passive or random event. This time, you will respond. You will actively engage with it. This is the moment to sign your cosmic contract. In an act of focused and clear intention, as soon as you perceive the signal, stop what you are doing. Take a deep breath. Center yourself in your heart. And then, say mentally or aloud, with all the conviction you can muster, I recognize the alliance. I am the meeting point. Repeat this 3 times. Feel the power and truth of these words vibrating in every cell of your body. Don't say them like a robot. Say them like a sovereign claiming their throne. Let's analyze what you are declaring. I recognize the alliance is your conscious acceptance of the merging of mind and heart, of Thoth and Sophia. It is you saying yes to healing the duality within yourself. You are acknowledging that you no longer need to choose between logic and intuition, but that you can and will incorporate both. It is your recognition of the greater plan of which you are now a part. I am the meeting point is your declaration of sovereignty and responsibility. You are stating that you are no longer waiting for the merging to happen somewhere out there. You are declaring that the meeting point is you. Your body is the temple. Your consciousness is the altar. You are the alchemical crucible where heaven and earth unite. It is your acceptance of your role as a living pillar, a conduit for the new energy on this planet. You are taking your place. This statement is not a plea or a request. It is an act of power. It is your energetic signature on the cosmic contract. It is you saying to the universe, I understand the message. I accept the mission. I am ready. By doing this, you anchor the frequency of the Emerald Alliance into your energy field in a powerful and definitive way. You establish your position on the Emerald Line and send a clear signal to all of existence about which reality you have chosen to inhabit. From this moment on, prepare yourself. Your perception of reality will begin to change drastically. What once seemed like luck, misfortune, or chance will reveal itself as a perfectly orchestrated web of synchronicities. You will begin to see the hand of higher intelligence guiding your life in ways you never imagined possible. The right people, places, and opportunities will begin to appear in your life with astonishing precision. Your life will cease to be a struggle and will become a dance with the divine. This act of power is your rite of passage. It is what separates the seeker from the master. The seeker is always searching for answers outside of themselves. The master declares their own truth and observes the universe reorganizing itself around them to reflect that truth. By signing this contract, you graduate. You cease to be a student and become an active co-creator, and your life, from then on, becomes the manifestation of this new identity. To live the Emerald Covenant after signing your contract is to become the embodiment of sacred marriage. It is no longer a theory or a concept. It is your lived reality. It means being guided at every moment by the hand of the scribe, Thoth, with mental clarity, sharp discernment, and the ability to manifest order from chaos. You think precisely, speak truthfully, and act with purpose. Your mind becomes a sharp tool at the service of your spirit, no longer a tyrant that imprisons you in loops of anxiety and doubt. At the same time, it means acting with the heart of wisdom, Sophia. You move through the world with deep compassion, an empathy that doesn't judge, and a love that embraces all of creation, including the parts of yourself you previously rejected. You feel connected to all beings and act from a place of unity, not separation. Your heart, now activated and strong, becomes your moral and energetic compass, ensuring that your mental power is always used for the greater good. You are no longer a follower of one path or another. You are not mental or emotional. You are the path itself. You become the living meeting point where mind and heart, logic and love, structure and flow dance in perfect and constant harmony. Your life becomes your message. You no longer need to preach or try to convince anyone of anything. Your simple presence, your balanced energy, becomes living proof that duality can be transcended. The journey doesn't end here. It only begins. But it's a completely new beginning. You're no longer trying to escape from prison. You're learning to decorate your palace. You're no longer trying to find the way. You're creating the way with every step. You transform into a beacon of emerald light, a conscious agent of planetary transformation. Your stability helps stabilize the collective. Your clarity helps dispel confusion. Your compassion helps heal the world's wounds. Your mere presence, operating from this unified frequency, begins to awaken the same alliance in the hearts of others. It's a resonance effect. When you strike a tuning fork, other tuning forks of the same frequency begin to vibrate around you, without you needing to touch them. Similarly, by living your truth, you activate the seed of truth in others. You help them remember, without needing to say a single word, simply by being who you truly are. This is your true work. This is your purpose. It's not about achieving status, accumulating knowledge, or having mystical experiences. It's about embodying divinity in everyday life. It's about being love and wisdom in action, in your work, in your family, in every interaction. It's about transforming the mundane into the sacred, simply through the quality of your presence. You become an anchor point for heaven on earth. Always remember, you have been identified, activated, and now called upon to be a beacon. Don't hide your light for fear of being judged. Don't lower your vibration to fit in. The world doesn't need more sleeping people. It desperately needs beacons. Shine with all your might. Be the meeting point. Live the alliance. Your journey is the journey of us all, and it's only just beginning. If you felt the calling from this video and want to see our mission continue, the most beautiful way to support us is through an exchange of energy. We have prepared 2 profound resources for you: the ebooks, the Thoth Code, and the Monad Code. In them, we deliver the heart of our knowledge about mental alchemy, vitality, and the laws of consciousness. By purchasing these ebooks, you are not only seeking knowledge, you are making a real contribution to ensuring that this channel does not stop. It is our most sincere offering into your hands, in exchange for the breath we need to continue awakening consciousness. The link to access both materials is in the first pinned comment. Thank you so much for your help and for walking alongside us.